It is good. It's your boy Ty back here with another video. In this video today, guys, we're going to be going over the players in packs today in NBA 2K23 My Team. So, who's not in packs? Well, Vince Carter, Moses Malone, Cat, those are probably, I expected two of them, right? The offline reward, online reward. We got three of them, so I guess I don't know where Vince is going to be. I don't know where Moses is going to be. And I don't know where Cat is going to be. But that is going to be a separate video. In this video, we're going to focus on the players in packs from the endgame Giants, Yao, Taco, Wemby, as well as KP, to some of the Invincibles, and even the Season 8 cards. Again, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're on the road towards 120,000 subscribers. We're going to start it off here with Shaun Livingston. Now, to start it off, I love the Season 6 reward Shaun Livingston. So that's the first thing you guys need to take note of, is the Season 6 Shaun Livingston is absolutely elite. Had some of the best dribble sigs, a lot going for him. This Shaun Livingston, basically an invincible card stat-wise. Every important stat above a 95. Even badge-wise, you know, pretty solid, pretty, perfect. You could give him Rise Up, Claymore. Everything else is pretty perfect. Let's compare his... Let's compare his SIGs to the Galaxy Opal. Again, I like the Galaxy Opal. He had pretty good SIGs. Lowry Size Up, I don't know if I love that. Everything else is really solid. Moving crossover does have the James Harden moving crossover. Again, don't necessarily know how good that is. Asta Slide. Basically the exact same things normally. And Shaun Livingston's going to be really solid for a cheap point guard. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Jonathan Bender up next. Small forward shooting guard, 7 feet tall, 7'4" wingspan. People are already asking, Ty, is Jonathan Bender going to be our best shooting guard in my team? Well, let's look at it. Everything stat-wise is good, checks out above a 90. Badge-wise, really solid, mismatch expert. You can give it to him in case he gets like a switch onto Yao Manu. Everything else, pretty solid. Tendency-wise, good. Montrezl Harrell base with the Oscar upper on very quick. That is one of the best releases in the entire game. It's the release that Ben Wallace does have, for example, and I love Ben Wallace. Trey Leader, MJ dribble style, Francis, sides up, Asta Slide, Dave move by the back, Curry, sides up, escape, which I love. With Jonathan Bender, you're looking at probably a top 5 at minimum shooting guard in my team. Comes down to this. Do you prefer the endgame release, or do you prefer the Harrell Oscar on very quick? That's really what it comes down to. But I do think you can make the case that Jonathan Bender is the best shooting guard in my team. I think you can make that case. Do I believe that? No, because I believe, the shooting guard position should be your primary ball handler. And with that, I think Bender might struggle a little bit. But even if you run Bender at the small forward position, he is absolutely incredible. No matter what way you look at it, Bender, one of the best shooting guard small forwards in the entire game. Next up, power forward center, Big Z, 7'3", 7'6" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere, 55 Hall of Famers, 5 on gold. Perfect stats, perfect badges, tendency-wise, perfect. KCP base, K-Love upper on very quick. Just when we thought Big Z already had a decent release, he gets the KCP base, which, again, is the release that Rick Smits has. So if you don't know, that's kind of the release of Rick Smits. Caleb Upper, one of the most chick in my team. Trey Leaner, MJ dribble style. D-Rose, size up. Curry, size of escape. Asta Slide. One of your best bigs in my team. If you can't get Taco, if you can't get Yao, don't worry. Big Z is nearly just as good as those guys. Again, one of our best overall bigs in my team. Even if you have those guys, Big Z can still play. The way I look at it is, he's basically a way better version of a guy like Rick Smits. I know Rick might be an inch taller, but again, Big Z overall is better. Kuz up next, Invincible, small forward shooting guard, 6'9", 7' wingspan, hot spots from everywhere, 63 base badges, 55 of them on Hall of Fame. Again, perfect defensively, 6'9", perfect tendencies, Kuz base, Kobe upper on very quick. That's what is it? Okay, I mean, I don't know. Who else has the Kobe upper? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who has... Oh, is that the Dale Ellis base? Okay. That's the Dale Ellis release. Which, again, as far as I'm concerned, I do not mind the Dale Ellis base. I think it's solid. Normally in her MJ dribble style. I don't love the Lowry size up, so that's just me. Trey size escape, Asta Slide, Dave by the back. Kuz is fine. Is he better than Jonathan Bender? I don't think so. So again, take it for what it's worth. If you're comparing Kuz side by side to Jonathan Bender, give me Bender every day of the week. Ricky Davis up next, 6'7", 6'10", wingspan. A lot of you guys remember the Galaxy Pink Diamond Ricky Davis. He's always been one of the best primary ball handlers in the entire game. Hot spots from everywhere, 99 everything. Badge-wise, nearly perfect. Tendency-wise, perfect. Seth Curry base, Oscar upper on very quick. Now, what is that release like? I mean, it's hard to really see it because not that many people have it, but it's the exact same release that the last Ricky Davis did have. So release-wise, gonna be that exact same. Trey Leader, MJ dribble style, Francis size of, Curry size of escape. I mean, some people wanted the Paul George size of escape. I wouldn't have minded it. It does get the eyes to slide, Dame movement in the back. Ricky Davis is fine. Is there anything that really stands out about this card, though? I don't really know. He is going to be one of the best primary ball handlers at that point guard position, but the problem is people are going to run Giannis. People are going to run Jokic. Even Magic Johnson is going to be taller than Ricky Davis. Ricky's fine, just not necessarily that next level good in my team. TT up next, 6'10", 7'2" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. Badge-wise, he's an invincible. Okay, basically as good as you can get. LaMelo base, Oscar upper on a very quick. So when we look at the LaMelo base and the Oscar upper, does anybody or has anybody gotten that yet in my team? Doug Christie has, and I gotta say I love Doug Christie's base. Trey Leaner, MJ dribble style, Francis size of, Dame movement in the back, Asta slide. I love this Tim Thomas. I will say for me, I really got used to the release of the last couple of Tim Thomases, right? Especially the hero. I really got his release down. Is it a huge upgrade? No. But again, the Trey upper is way harder to time than the Oscar upper. So I do like the LaMelo base. I'm actually kind of glad they kept that the same because again, I want Tim Thomas to still feel like Tim Thomas. At the end of the day, card's going to be fantastic. If you love Tim Thomas's last card, you're really going to like this one. Now to all the end games, we know what all of them are going to be like. Now, I got to explain this to you guys. For Victor Wembanyama, if you have the Invincible and you like the Invincible, there is no reason to feel like you need to upgrade, okay? That needs to be said. Because a lot of people think they need to upgrade their Wemby, and you don't. Sure, the Russell Westbrook crossover is nice. Everything else is basically the same outside of his release, which, again, for a small forward, the Kuz base, Tim Duncan upper, it's smooth enough. It's not like you need the endgame Wemby. If I had to choose the better one, I think endgame Wemby is going to be better. But again, I think it's by such a small margin that I would not think about it too much or worry too much about it. Both of these Wembys can play. Both of them are really, really solid in my team. Next up, guys, Taco Fall, 7'6", 8'2" wingspan. I'm going to say it like this. I think Taco Fall becomes maybe your best overall player in my team. Why? His player build is absolutely fantastic. So a lot of people be like, I got Manute, I've got Yao, I've got all these cards, which is fine, but endgame Taco Fall's player model is going to be different. This Taco played for such a long time because of his height, because of his player model, player build, and he only had 23 base badges, only 11 Hall of Famers. Now you're looking at a basically perfect Taco, which even if you struggle with the endgame release, use him as an inside center, he is still going to be the man with the plan. I'm telling you guys right now, do not sleep on this Taco. I actually believe firmly that this Taco Fall is our best overall card that we are getting today. That is my opinion. KP up next, 7'3", 7'6" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere, 64 base badges, all of them on Hall of Fame. Finishing wise, perfect. Obviously, shooting wise, perfect. Everything's perfect. KPJ, I'm very quick. At the small forward position, him, Bobo, Wemby, those are your top three. Do you find a position for KP? That's the big question. I don't know, right? I really don't know. He's basically identical to this card, though. I mean, from the player build to everything else, basically identical as Bobo. Bobo might have a longer wingspan. KP's a little taller. I mean, he's an endgame card. Last, certainly not least, Yao Ming. To me, Yao is just going to be a little worse version of a Taco, right? And then what I would do, honestly, I'd play one at the center and one at the power forward. That's what I would do if you are trying to have the best squad in the game. You can put them wherever. It doesn't really matter. You can switch your matchups, whatever you got to do. These, in my opinion, are your top two cards in my team. Yes, Wemby is up there at the small forward position. Don't get it twisted. But Invincible Wemby is basically just as good. At the power forward center position, these are your top two cards in my team. Do think Taco is overall the best card in the game. Again, I don't know where these end games are going to come from. Maybe I'll just have to wait and see before making a video on it because I have absolutely no idea where these are at. Do know one's going to be the online, one's the offline reward, but as far as the other one, I'm really not sure. Let me know your thoughts on these cards down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. As always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.